Right now, if you lock your screen, place your phone face down, and just sit in silence for 5 minutes. You'll feel it. First, there's a slight discomfort, then, an overwhelming urge to check your notifications, to shake your leg, to do something. This feeling seems as natural to us as hunger or thirst. We call it boredom. And we spend billions of dollars, build entire entertainment industries, and design giant social networks for one single purpose: to never have to face it again. But here's the paradox. For 99% of human history, boredom simply didn't exist. Your distant ancestors could sit for hours, staring at a single point without feeling any internal itch. They had no smartphones, no books, not even jobs in the way we understand them today. And yet, they never got bored. So where did boredom come from? How did it happen that in an era where we have the world's entertainment right in our pockets, we've become the most bored generation in history? The answer to this question changes our entire understanding of how our own brains work. For a long time, we thought ancient humans were constantly struggling to survive, that they simply didn't have time to be bored because they were looking for food or running from saber-toothed tigers every single second. But anthropology has proven this is a complete myth. Modern studies of hunter-gatherer tribes like the San people in the Kalahari reveal something incredible. They spend only about 15 to 20 hours a week on work, meaning hunting, gathering, and maintaining their camp. That is half as much as a modern office worker. The rest of the time they do nothing. They sleep. They sit by the fire. They watch the trees. Why don't they go crazy from boredom? Because in their world, time is not a resource. It can't be wasted. In the animal kingdom, rest is just rest. A lion sleeping 20 hours a day after a successful hunt doesn't have an existential crisis. It's recovering its energy. Early humans had no concept of empty time. If you don't need to hunt, you just exist in the moment. Your body is here, your mind is here. For humanity to learn how to be bored, something terrible had to happen. Humans had to be locked alone with their own thoughts. The 4th century AD. The Egyptian desert. Here, far from civilization, emerged the first people to professionally encounter boredom. They were Christian hermit monks. They voluntarily locked themselves in cramped cells to dedicate their lives to prayer and renounce all worldly affairs. And they were the first to describe this unbearable state. The monk Evagrius Ponticus gave it a name, the noonday demon, or acedia. He described it like this: around noon, when the sun is at its peak and the day seems endless, a heavy apathy attacks the monk. It feels like time has stopped. He begins to hate his cell. He stares out the window, hoping someone will come. He can't pray, he can't read. He wants to be anywhere but here. Recognize that feeling? It's the exact same feeling you get sitting through an unbearably long lecture or a pointless corporate meeting. The monks considered it the work of the devil, a deadly sin. But in reality, it was the brain's physiological reaction to sensory deprivation. The brain, starved of external stimuli, started to consume itself. Acedia was a disease of the chosen few, those who were isolated. But soon, this disease would infect the entire world. For a peasant in the Middle Ages, boredom was also practically non-existent. Their life followed the rhythm of nature. Spring meant planting, autumn meant harvesting. Winter was a well-deserved rest. But then we invented mechanical clocks. And then, factories. The Industrial Revolution did something nobody had done before. It fractured time into identical, soulless segments, hours, minutes, seconds. And it forced people to perform mechanical, repetitive actions day in and day out. You stand at an assembly line for 12 hours straight, tightening the exact same bolt. Your body aches, but your brain is starving to death. It has nothing to solve, nothing to analyze. It was during this exact era that the word itself appeared. The word boredom didn't even exist in the English language until 1852, when Charles Dickens used it in his novel Bleak House. Boredom became a mass epidemic. It was born from a conflict. We had energy and intelligence, but society forced us to sit still and do monotonous work. And here we are, the 21st century. We don't have assembly lines anymore, at least not most of us. We have unlimited access to millions of movies, games, articles, and videos right in our pockets. We can consume information every second of our lives. So, why do statistics show that modern teens and adults experience boredom more often than ever before in human history? Neuroscientists have found the answer. And it's mind-blowing. Boredom isn't a lack of entertainment. Boredom is your brain's inability to find meaning in what's happening. Think about physical pain. If you touch a hot stove, the pain makes you pull your hand away. Pain is a security system signal. What you are doing right now is destroying your body. Stop. Boredom is the pain of your mind. When you're scrolling through a feed of short videos for the second hour straight, and suddenly you feel that heavy, sticky boredom, it doesn't mean the videos aren't interesting. It's your neural alarm system screaming, what you are doing right now is meaningless to your survival and growth. Stop. Do something that matters. But instead of listening to this pain and changing our lives, we act like someone who takes a painkiller without pulling the knife out of the wound. We just switch to the next flashier video. We drown our boredom in cheap dopamine. Ancient humans didn't get bored because every minute of their lives had meaning. Monks got bored because they were fighting their own nature. Factory workers got bored because their freedom was stripped away. We get bored because we're too afraid to be left alone with ourselves. Boredom isn't the enemy. It is the launch pad for creativity. The greatest ideas, books, inventions, and even life decisions were born in moments when people became so unbearably bored that they had to invent something new just to escape it. The next time you feel bored, don't reach for your phone. Let it wash over you. Listen to it. Because maybe in that emptiness, your brain will finally tell you something that actually matters.